I hope you are doing well. Today we are talking about industrialization of this continent. Is it really we are going to industrialize our continent, or we are going to shift industries from China, from Europe, from America, and establish here in the continent? At the same time, we are passing the policy of free movement of goods. Is it true that those goods is African goods, or we are going to pass policies that is going to favor the Chinese goods, European goods, American goods, and other foreigners' goods instead of African goods? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. As we move along this continent, you will find that Africa, we produce a lot of raw materials, but we lack industries. In order to have industries, we need enough energies, like electricity. And I would like to congratulate the country of Ethiopia. Today, Ethiopia is exporting electricity to Kenya. And this is showing that Ethiopia can produce enough electricity or more electricity and can establish industrialization. And recently, Ethiopia has produced enough wheat and grain to feed her people. That is a good move. What about the rest of the continent? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. We have people in the diaspora, as we speak every now and then, that we have capacities in diaspora. Are we going to use those capacities in the diaspora to come and invest here in the continent? When we talk about free movement of people and goods, it means we are allowing goods from one country to another. And if we are not careful, we are going to allow some Chinese goods, European goods, and American goods, Russian goods to pass free from one place to another in the continent, every time without paying even taxes, because we don't have enough industries. What we need is to build our own industries as African industries, like what the Chinese are just doing. Chinese, they produce their own things. They produce their own cars, their own mobiles, their own stuffs. Even in Africa, we need to produce. Let us Africans establish our own industries. Let us find a place where there is enough electricity and create that place as the hub of industries. We can do so. We have many young people who have knowledge and education that can make changes. Let us give them the chances. I remember during COVID-19, Africans, we take loans to buy vaccine. Let us use the same tactic to take loans and give those money to young men and women who are very skilled and professional, so that they can establish industries, they can produce enough goods, so that we can sell these goods among African countries, and those stuffs that can move free from one place to another. If we are not careful, my dear friends, I will speak this and I will continue to speak this, and maybe it will not happen today or tomorrow, but if we are not careful, it will happen during our lifetime or not our lifetime, that Africans will pass the policy of free movement of people and goods, but the goods that is going to move free is Chinese goods, is European goods, is Chinese goods, European goods, and American goods, not African goods. So we need as Africans to understand that when we are talking about economic liberation, we need to make sure that we liberate this continent economically, instead of having this producing cheap labors. For how long Africa will continue to produce cheap labors for the industries of the Westerners, or for the industries of foreigners, or for the industry of others? We have seen Africans, it looks like the ground of other people to come and do business and get profits and go away. And also another thing is that if we allow other people to control our economy, the time will come when they will start to give us directives to say something. If we violate the policy, we are going to be sanctioned, they are going to close their industries, and they are going to suffer. That's why we say, Africa, we need to have our own things. We cannot hurt our people, because these things, if it's owned by Africans, to be easy to be managed, and because we Africans, we love each other, we'll continue to produce enough things for our people instead of today what the foreigners just doing. We remember what's happening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is sanctioned, but Africa cannot sanction Africa. That's what we need to do. So let me end it here. I was reminding you, my fellow Africans in the diaspora and in the continent, to establish industries here in the continent, to come together to see how we can liberate this continent economically. As what the Chinese are doing here in the continent, let us, even Africans, do more here in the continent, because this is the ground where everything is doing very well or is done very well. Thank you.